We got a call coming in.
Oh, shit. What's happening, buddy?
Hey.
What's going on? How are you today?
Doing good, man. How are you?
You know me, man, over here waiting on you to call. What's been going on? What's new over at Cheeba Chew?
Same old. Lots of work going on over here. Just launched our new CBD chew in California, so staying busy with that.
People are loving that CBD chew.
Yeah?
Because I know at Divine Wellness they talk about it, and they talk about it at the other one, I know Organic. They said that more and more people are coming in. And the guy, and that's why I wanted to have you call in, because the guy at NoHo Organic at Divine was explaining the CB chew. Can you break it down for the people at home? Now, it's got 70 milligrams of THC, correct?
No, so the CBD chew is just a little bit different. It's still 70 milligrams total cannabis plant extract, but what you have in it is 50 milligrams of THC and 20 milligrams of CBD, which is cannabinol. Still found in the cannabis plant, but CBD has less psychoactive effects, and it's more for pain relief, chronic pain. We have plenty of testimonials on clients that, for seizures and that sort of stuff. So CBD is less psychoactive, lots of pain relief, and that's why we put it out in the market. It's extremely popular right now, and lots of medicinal relief.
Yeah, I popped one the other day, and it was tremendous. I like your products a lot, brother. They are cutting edge. I ate one Friday night before the show, and I gave a little piece to my buddy. And I came out after the show, and he was gone. And the next morning, I woke up, and on Twitter, he wrote down that somebody had Mickey'd him at the bar. And I called him. I said, it wasn't no fucking Mickey. It was that Cheeba Chew that took you down. He's like, come on, stop it. He goes, I couldn't even talk. I go, yeah, it was the Cheeba Chew that took you down.
And I tell you what, they're sneaky, and I think that's the thing about it. And I think what makes them so popular is, it's small. It's very discreet. You can take a Cheeba Chew anywhere at any time. You don't have to worry about smell, smoke, any of that stuff. So I think that's a big benefit of it. But I think the one thing that people find really quick, as you just said it yourself, is how do you regulate your tolerance? The Cheeba Chew is so small. All you got to do is take a fourth of that Cheeba Chew, wait 30 minutes, and you're going to feel the effects. And I think that's a common story as well. I took a little too much, and the next morning, what happened?
Look at Lee. He's sweating right now as we're talking about Cheeba Chew. Aren't you dying to get a Cheeba Chew in your Lee right now?
I love them, but Joey's been eating them for 30 years.
I've not been eating Cheeba Chews.
Not Cheeba Chews, but things like them. So you pop two of them. You give me a half or a quarter, and 17 hours later, I'm just coming down from it. But I was in San Diego this weekend, and Edgar and his buddy had them down there. So they love them.
No, it's the flavor of the month.
And the other thing about it is it's an edible, and edibles are different than smoking. So if you haven't had an edible before, and we all heard brownies and cookies and all these different ways to kind of infuse marijuana into edibles, it takes time because it absorbs in your body. So you got to give it time before you eat a little bit more because, when you smoke, it's an instant gratification sort of deal. You got to wait 30, 45 minutes before it absorbs in your system, then you really start feeling it. But the other side of that is you're going to feel it for 3 to 6 hours later. You're going to continue to feel high for more than when you smoke a joint. It's 30, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Then you got to smoke again. When you take an edible, it may take a little bit while to activate in your system, but it's also going to last a lot longer. And it's a slightly different, more euphoric body high than when you're smoking. You're obviously getting that head high.
Yeah, I never sleep. I have problems sleeping, and I never sleep better than on days when Joey gives me a Cheeba Chew. I mean, I'm still high when I wake up, but it's fucking awesome.
Now, how big is the difference between the quad dose and the Deca? That's the question a lot of people ask me all the time.
Very, very good question. And what we have on our Deca doses, you'll see the wording really big. I think it's in red. It says caution extremely potent. And it is. In a Deca dose, you have 175 milligrams of THC. In our quad dose, our original chews, which we have sativa, indica, and hybrid, those are 70 milligrams. So it's quite a big step up to a Deca dose. So if you're trying a Deca dose for the first time and you've never tried a quad before, you might want to take a really little piece of that because it's extremely potent. It's extremely strong. I can't even handle those Deca doses. I'll stay to maybe a half of a quad dose. I'm with Lee. I'm in Lee's category. I can't hang with you there is a half to a fourth of a quad dose is good for me. Regular, let's say I smoke once a day, 3-4 times a week, sort of deal. But, really high tolerance users, that's what a decadose is for. 175 milligrams, extremely strong. It's going to last, like I said, 3 to 6 hours for you.
Now, can you explain how it's made? Because Edgar's friend had the decadose, and he ate half of it and had the other half waiting. And Joey always jokes that it's leaking THC juices, but he showed me the wrapper. The wrapper was green.
Green.
After he took half of it, he opened it up, and it was like it was leaking. Like is it like a Tootsie Roll? Like, is that kind of what it's like, or like how? Like, what is it? How do you explain it?
Yeah, so basically, we've got our taffy base. There's some proprietary methodology there I can't really share with you. But it's, so you got your chocolate taffy base. You take your cannabis extract, your THC oil. You heat up your taffy, and you infuse the oil into your taffy. That cools, and you cut up your individual taffy pieces, wrap them up, and they're ready to go. What you guys are finding is anytime it warms up, a little bit of that oil, especially with the decadoses, because it's so packed, it's the same size as a quad dose, but it has 175 milligrams instead of 70 milligrams of THC, is when the taffy warms up, let's say it's in your pocket a little bit, some of that oil is going to slowly leak out. You're not leaking out very much, but you're right. It's so packed with THC, you're going to see some of the juices actually leaking out of the taffy.
It's like finger banging a hippie chick in Boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's tremendous. I love it. When I open it up, I take pictures of it. I show my friends. I show them. I go, look at this motherfucker. It's on fire. It was because the aluminum foil is like silver, but you could see the little pockets of the little THC juice. Oh my God! It's what I am. Listen. I don't do drugs anymore, but I love American ingenuity. And with you people, you've got it all covered. I've known a lot of people out here that don't do the indicas. I won't do a sativa. You said, fuck you motherfuckers. We got one for you in every color. We got a sativa, Absolutely. We got a hybrid, and we got an indica. Can you really sense the effects of all different ones?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's sativa strain dominance, there's indica strain dominance. There's absolutely a difference between the two. You will notice the effects. Lee, you said it yourself. I take a Cheeba chew, and I don't sleep any better than when I try one. Your indicas are definitely more of an evening, nighttime type of edible. You're going to relax at the end of the day. You're going to take an indica Cheeba chew. That's going to hit you. You're going to get a little bit of a couch lock depending on how much you take, and it's going to knock you out. You're going to sleep. You have a great sleep. Something like a sativa is definitely more for creativity, morning. You're going to get a little more of that euphoria. You're going to get that energy burst. A lot of that has to do with the balance of THC, CBD. CBD, obviously, like I said, you're going to get more concentration levels are higher, with the higher CBD that you have in there, and less psychedelic effects. And so the balance of CBD and obvious strain that you have within your marijuana is what's going to dictate the effects. And so we take our time to make sure our extracts, are going into the right strain, the sativas, the hybrids, and the indicas.
Now, what states are you guys at right now? Definitely California, Colorado?
And you may find them in Washington as well. So I can't confirm or deny any of that, but you'll find them in those areas for sure.
And D.C., not D.C. They're still. Can you imagine that? Find a fucking Cheebo chew in Obama's wife's pocketbook? Tremendous. That's what we need to get. We need to send her a fucking hybrid to get her jumping up and down with the kids. It's all over.
We need to. I agree 100%. And I think that's the other benefit. I think there's a real opportunity with edibles. You talk about the legitimacy of the industry, kind of, recreational usage. The laws being passed in Colorado and Washington. It's a responsible way to medicate. You can regulate your dosage, and I can't tell you how many times we've heard from patients how life-changing this medicine is for them. I can't smoke, or I don't want to smoke, or whatever the excuse is. It's another opportunity to introduce somebody to the real healing powers of cannabis, and there are plenty of benefits to it that people aren't recognizing as legitimate. And in this industry, as it continues to move forward, I think edibles are a great way to lead the charge. It's an extremely healthy way to medicate.
And you guys have a web page and everything. I mean, you guys are legit. I love it.
We are 100% legit. Yes, CheebaChews.com. You can find out all of our products. Depending on market, we have lots of different products. In Colorado, we have a Green Hornet, which is a gummy. Same type of setup as our indica sativa hybrids at quad dose. We also have a mint and a caramel chew in the Colorado market, and we continue to develop and innovate new products as this industry, again, continues to grow and mature.
Now, will you make a stronger dose than a Deca eventually?
You
like
know,
175?
we thought about it. We've considered it, but to be honest with you, we feel like the 170. And here's the other part about it: the laws in Colorado now, recreational usage. Colorado has determined, from a recreational standpoint, 100 milligrams is the maximum amount of THC you can put into one edible. So for Colorado, our 175 milligram Deca dose can't be purchased on a recreational level. They're saying 10 milligrams is one dose, is what they're considering, in the Colorado recreational market. So as we look at kind of, the regulations that are happening, what we're seeing is those high milligram dosage aren't going to be the most responsible way to go. I don't think we're going to develop anything above 175. If anything else, we're going to keep things at 100 milligrams or lower, just because of, the responsibility of the market. You don't want people to overdose. I don't know if that's possible, but
it's
take
possible.
Too much, right?
It's possible.
There is a possibility.
It's fucking possible. Trust me.
Lee has done. I think I've seen it where Lee has taken too much, and that's like I said. So I think we're going to keep it at 175. There's the highest we'll go. And
fuck Lee. He needs as much as he could get. If you got 1,000 milligrams, you got to send it to me. Fuck Lee.
I mean, nothing bad happens. I just can't talk. He gave me some in San Jose, and I was just like, I just followed you. I couldn't talk to anybody for a couple hours. We ended up in a restaurant somewhere. It's like I was in San Diego for Comic-Con, and there were drunk people being assholes. When I was too high, I just couldn't do anything.
I am very impressed with your product. Since day one, I've turned millions of people onto it just because I like to. Listen, when you're a fat fuck, you don't want to keep eating cookies and donuts and lollipops. You got to cut it out. And how many calories does your little one piece have?
Yes, and that's another benefit. I mean, there are just so many benefits to why Cheeba Chews have been successful. One of it is you just spoke on it. There are 35 calories in one chew. Let's say,
that's a point.
Lee, for example, you probably can take a fourth of a chew and feel the effect. So you can say over 3 days, and that's 35 calories you're consuming over a 3-day period, just to medicate.
Now, is there? Because I know you said that there's some laws in like Colorado where it's legal now where you can't give them as much of a high milligram, but are there other differences? Because now it doesn't have to be for like medical. Like, are there different mixes you're doing since it can be recreational, or is it different at all, or is it basically the same wherever you go?
Every state is different, and that's where it's really tricky. Because obviously, let's be honest, from a federal standpoint, this is still deemed illegal. So every state is kind of set up different, and that's what we've seen. Colorado, I think, has been the safest territory for us because of the way the state protects the industry to really innovate and to develop products that matter and to do it from that standpoint. And that's why we spent so much time in that market developing products, and we continue to develop products. We have new products that we're continuing to develop to prepare for the whole recreational wave that's happening out there. And I think what we have to kind of yield to is what sort of state regulations are happening in Colorado. And I think once we find what works there, we have a methodology to take to other places that are going to work in a very safe, consistent manner. And so it's really the milligram dosage. Some of the packaging has to change. I don't know. It's not right in front of me exactly, what all these regulations are for the industry. But where it really comes down to, especially from an edible standpoint, is the milligram dosage in each individual edible.
Now, I know Joey probably gets questions, but I'm from Boston, and I know I don't know if it's legal yet, but they just legalized medical marijuana. Have you started looking at that and seeing, getting ready to open up in Boston?
Yeah, and so here, the other thing about it is to stay within your state regulations, to stay within kind of that state asylum, so to speak, to have that sort of protection, everything has to be done within state lines. And so you're, developing your base product there. All of your product is being sourced locally. So, theoretically speaking, if you're going to go to Boston, you're setting up manufacturing in Boston. You're not shipping anything, across state lines in order to do manufacturing. And so, that's the good and the bad of the industry, right? I think, like I said, from a federal standpoint, it's risky. We're not going across state lines with products. So in order to go from state to state, it's a process, right?
That's crazy.
If you're going to go to somewhere like Boston, you have to set up shop in Boston, develop your product there. And so I think that's, it's a slow growth. You're not going to be nationally. I think, we have been very successful, where we're at in doing one step at a time and kind of letting the industry unfold in front of us. But, being, a leader in the standards from a medical standpoint.
One thing, when I first got into this, I thought that this was just a scam. I'm a fucking scam at times, so I thought this was a scam. I was like, this is just this laws with the scam, and over the years living in LA, I've had 22 edible companies. They come and they go. They come and they go. It's something that, and they're good for a month, and then you taste the deterioration, and you see that now they're into doing something else, and it's done. And then a couple companies popped up, and you see it, they stuck around for a year. Then you guys came on the scene. And I remember hearing about you a while ago, and then finally coming upon us with Divine Wellness. And I think I went somewhere, and somebody gave me one. And that's the first time I went to Milwaukee or something, and somebody gave me one. And I was fucked up. But it really showed me you guys cared with this last package. That's when I got really impressed with you guys, because I bumped into an Army general or some shit once in Hollywood, and he was telling me that 30 years ago he fucking hated hippies, he hated people with long hair, he hated marijuana, he hated earrings, he hated anything. And I understood. I grew up with people like that, and now here he is in his medical marijuana store because he had some type of cancer, and the only way he could eat is by smoking marijuana. And now that's where he was. Now this guy was praising the medical marijuana, and now I was sold on it. I understood why people do it. I forgot all about cancer and my selfishness. When I saw this new package you guys released was when I fell in love with your company. This new thing is huge. And I have knee pain. And I've eaten those, the new 70 milligram ones, and they're tremendous. And the guy at Divine says that the raves have been, if you had Yelp for your fucking product, especially for that one, that they've been great. So I'm very proud to be associated with you guys and to eat your products. I mean, I know you guys really care.
Well, and I think you hit it on the head there. As we were developing this product in Colorado, as we continue to develop, there are 3 points to our product that we hold kind of in the company standards. It's our potency, our consistency, and the discreteness of the product. And we know we go nowhere if somebody buys an edible for the first time, tries a Cheeba Chew, and they don't feel the effects of it. So we understand our brand's on the line every time you walk into a dispensary and you see the product on a shelf. And that's why we hold very high standards, because you said it yourself, edible companies come and they go. It's an extremely risky and difficult business to be associated with. The industry, obviously, very risky thing to do. And so, we took, a very mature approach to, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to hold to the standards of who we are. We're going to make sure we're doing it for the right reasons. It's a very, the industry's in flux right now. Sometimes we make a step forward, sometimes the industry takes a step back. But from our standpoint, being that consistent edible that you can trust, the brand that is a brand you can trust to be there for you, is the standards that we put on ourselves.
You're a beautiful man, brother. You know me. I'm with Cheeba Chew to the fucking death. You guys keep doing what you're doing, and we keep doing what we're doing, and we'll meet in the fucking middle somewhere, buddy. I'll see you next month. You'll be back in town next month?
Yep, I'll be back in town a couple of weeks, and I will come see you, Joey.
Give me a call, and let's do coffee, all right, brother? Let's see where we can take this.
All right.
Thank you,
Joey.
thank you very much for calling, man. I appreciate it. And we love your product here, and the people we deal with on the podcast that could get it legally love your product. So thank you again. What's the website?
That's CheebaChews.com. You can check out all our different products there.
Who the hell do you think you're messing with? Have a great week, man. Thank you again for calling.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks, Lee. Take care, guys.
Thank you.